I cannot, for the life of me, crack into the head of people who are undecided. Why would they do that? That's so cruel. You must hate half of your country to think of them this way. But we can never forget how funny it was reading that passage from Kristi Noem's book. Okay, we gotta watch this video. Oh my God.
Talk about a third party factor, but they couldn't find a ticket.
Oh yeah. We'll get Chrono Trigger running in the background too. There we go. Okay, we're gonna watch this video, okay?
The moment. And the fresher face from Florida never got the traction that some had anticipated. So Trump cruised to the nomination without ever having to debate his opponents, and was actually.
And then, not only did he coast and not have to debate anybody, everybody else voted for Donald Trump who refused to debate anybody, and then criticized the Democrats for not having debates. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, guys.
Bolstered by 4 indictments and suffered no setback among Republicans even after being convicted. The general election field then took shape. Age was immediately a factor.
Remember this? Remember this? Age is a factor. Age is a factor. This guy speaks for nearly 2.5 minutes uninterrupted, and he doesn't say a goddamn thing. It's actually insane. Reading this transcript is one of the most difficult things I've ever done in my entire life. Reading it out loud, knowing what this guy is trying to say. Oh wait, hold on, wrong video. But Biden, and granted, Biden, he's a little old, right? He probably wouldn't be able to make it through another term. That's probably true. But we're gonna shit on Biden for this, but not Trump?
The only thing these candidates could agree on was to debate at the start of summer and not at the end. It didn't go well for Biden. He yielded to pressure to step aside. Talk of a quick competition yielded to a coronation. The torch.
And people are mad at the Democrats for this. But what happened with Trump? It was a coronation. He didn't campaign. He didn't debate. He didn't do anything. He was handed the nomination because he knew that Republicans would throw him the nomination. He didn't do anything for it.
Quickly passed. Another debate was soon scheduled with a clear Harris victory. And now the race returned to where it...
Damn, they did Kamala dirty there, dude. They did Kamala dirty there, dude. She looks like a she looks like a zombie, dude. What the Oh man, there's a reference that I want to make. Yes, they made her look like this. They made her look like this. What the Why would they do that? That's so cruel. That's so wrong.
Scheduled with a clear Harris victory. And now the race returned to where it first began, a deadlock, which is the biggest surprise of all, that despite a storyline that, if pitched in Hollywood, would have been rejected as too fantastic.
Yeah, that's true too. If someone in 2014 wanted to make a TV drama about a world where Donald Trump became president in 2016, people would be like, bro, this is ridiculous. This is never going to happen. This is the stupidest thing I've ever read in my entire life. No one is that stupid. No one would be willing to follow along with that. You must hate half of your country to think of them this way. Like, we're not going to put this on TV. We're not putting this on Netflix or HBO. It's too fantastical.
Fantastical. Nothing has really moved the needle. Which brings me to October. The longshoreman strike has been suspended, but there's still war in the Middle East, war in Ukraine, the aftermath of a devastating hurricane, and the yet-to-be...
The Apprentice is not what I'm talking about, but true. He was just a guy on TV
determined impact of an 11th hour legal filing by the special counsel. Plenty of time for events we could never forecast to unfold, featuring people whose names we might not even know. And maybe even their pets. Anybody remember Kristi Noem's dog? Kristi Noem's goat? Bobby's brainworm? Bobby.
And we can never forget, not because it's ever going to be politically important ever again, okay? But we can never forget how funny it was reading that passage from Kristi Noem's book about her executing her dog for being too happy. We can never forget, not because of any reason that it would be real or that it would be like, you know, politically relevant at any point in time in the future, but because it's so funny. It's so funny that this person thought that this was an honorable, good story that showed how she was part of the salt of the earth people. And all of those salt of the earth people were like, train your dog. Don't shoot it.
Bobby and the bear, Bobby and the whale, J.D. Vance and the childless cat ladies, and of course the unsubstantiated claim of eating dogs and cats in Springfield. You can't make this stuff up. But here's the lesson. Yesterday on my SiriusXM radio program, Professor Allen...
Yeah, I mean, just like the baseline, Republicans supporting an isolationist, womanizing cheater, like, there's just like is no shot.
He with those 13 keys that allow him to predict the election winner.
Things like RFK Jr.'s campaign says the worm that ate his part of his brain will not affect his ability to serve as president should exist outside of comic strips. But here we are. The fact that he had brainworms and they died of starvation is just the funniest thing I think I've ever heard in my goddamn life. He had literal brainworms and they died of starvation. Bro, it just can't be real. We can't be living. I was transported into an alternate dimension and I'm in a coma right now. And in 6 months, I'm going to wake up 20, how old was I in 2020? 24 years old. I'm going to wake up. It's the day after the election. Biden is won. Trump is doing his things. People immediately recognize that Donald Trump is actually just coping and seething super hard. They're embarrassed by it. They're embarrassed to ever have supported him. And we start to come together as a nation. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to wake up out of my coma. We realize that the way forward is not isolationism, but globalism. The Republicans come back to reality and actually have policy to run on instead of being cucked by a geriatric narcissist. Every younger sibling on the planet got the brain sucker joke from an older sibling, and he is living the joke. True. We all knew we had to avoid it at all costs, and he went in head first into that Amazonian jungle where he sniffed up a worm. Jesus Christ. Someone please. Wait, I don't think I can say that on stream. On Twitch, at least. Hypothetically, if I was to tell someone to come... No, I can't. I don't even think I can say it hypothetically. We're going to watch.
This year he says it's Harris. Well, here's what he said about an October surprise.
One of the greatest myths of American politics is the October surprise. I have never changed my prediction in response to an October surprise because the keys gauge the big picture of incumbent governance and strength and don't sway by the events of the campaign.
Right. In 40 years, he's never changed a prediction, and he's called them correctly in 9 of the last 10 elections. The October surprise is that there will be noise, but there will be no surprise. Joining me now, David Urban, the GOP strategist and CNN senior political commentator who advised the Trump campaigns of 2016 and 2020, and the Ragin' Cajun, James Carville, the legendary Democratic strategist. He ran Bill Clinton's 1992 winning campaign and is the focus of a new CNN film called Carville. Winning is everything, stupid. It premieres tonight at 7 p.m. James, big jobs report yesterday, robust stock market, declining interest rates, tamed inflation. If it's the economy, stupid, why isn't Harris ahead?
Well, first of all, you forgot the dropping crime rate, which is really impressive. You know, she's slightly ahead, and it's not the election. These things tend to break one way or the other at the end. So if there's 7 swing states, the least likely result is they break 4-3. But I can't stop the commentariat from saying it's going to be neck and neck and it's going to come down to this. I think it'll break at the end. I think someone will carry swing states 5-2 or 6-1. And whoever does that will do well in the House and do well in the Senate. But this thing is a long way from decided.
Okay, so you're disagreeing with the commentary. David Urban, do you think somebody's going to emerge? I assume if you do, you believe it's going to be Donald Trump. Or do you think we could be having this conversation the Saturday before the Tuesday election and still sitting here saying, who the hell knows?
Yeah, listen, far be it from me to disagree with the legendary James Carville, right? I mean, I don't get legendary in my introduction, so it's pretty good.
Carville does.
Okay. The worst thing that can happen is for the election to be close. The worst thing that can happen is for the election to be close. 270 to win. If we have... Damn, did it save my... If we have a map that looks like this, where it's 270 for the Democrats, and then it's close in Pennsylvania and Michigan and Georgia. No, I think it saved it from earlier today. Hey, Dylan Burns. Trump needs to lose by 6 or 7 points. Yeah, no. Like, because if it's this close and it's close in all those states, bro, I don't know what conservatives will do. I don't know what they'll do. They'll lose their minds, that's for sure. But I don't know. I don't know if the appetite for a January 6th is there still, or if it's going to be like the Donald Trump when he had his first his first conviction, right? And he called all his supporters out there, and there was like 10. Like, will it be that everyone's really angry and everyone has opinions at it, but they decide to stay home? Or will it be a road to another January 6th? I just genuinely, I actually have no clue. But if Democrats are somehow able to turn North Carolina blue, I mean, that's game over for them. And that might happen. I mean, what's the 538 on that? No. Polls, that one. North Carolina, 55 times out of 100. But like, damn, when did it get so close? Was that during the Democrat National Convention 2024? When did that happen? August 19th to 22nd. So maybe it was that, or maybe it's just the lagging indicator for when Harris entered the race. No, because she entered in July. Well, no, I guess that's not too far. I don't know. But whatever it is, like, they're very, very, very close in North Carolina, because that dumb, weird ass dude, that weird ass dude calling himself the Black Nazi, Mark Robinson, bro. I don't know what the. Well, he won in the primary because of Trump, is the thing. I was about to say I don't know what the Republicans were thinking, but it's all down to Donald Trump. Donald Trump everything up, even for his own party. So like, but like, this shouldn't be this close in North Carolina. Traditionally, I think we haven't won. Like, the Democrats haven't won. I'm wrong. What am I wrong about? I don't think North Carolina has been won by the Democrats since Obama in 2008, and then it swapped back to Republicans in 2012, and has been Republican ever since. I'll think of something. Yeah, that's right. I'm always right. You have to sit there and think about it. Sit there and seethe, Dylan. All right. But it's just like, if it's close, guys, off. If it's close, guys, if this map is accurate, which is what I like, let me be super clear. I think this is what the map looks like on November 7th. I'm hoping VA turns back red. Well, I'm here now. They'll never turn red now. They just got 2 more dim voters. But Yeah, I think that this is the most likely map that we see on November 7th. This is at 270. The only way it could be closer is if it was a tie. Okay? I think Republicans would lose their minds. I think that they would it would be a meltdown of a catastrophic nature that no one has ever dreamed of. That's what I think. But I don't know for sure. I believe North Carolina will flip based on that racist guy making GOP look crazy. Here's my worry. I don't know how strong the up, we talk about like down ballot help, right? Like Biden was dragging people down in the down ballot because he was old and senile, right? But there's also the up ballot effect, right? Which isn't talked about nearly as much because I don't know if it actually exists. I don't know if it actually exists. From the people that I listen to and respect that are pollsters, right? Like the 538 people. There's a YouTuber. I can't remember his name because I'm high as but let's talk elections. Like these people, they're very skeptical of the idea that the up ballot effect will really push Kamala over the line, Trump's not lying on his position on abortion. Yeah, he's not lying. The reason that it's so like all over the place is because he doesn't know his own position. He's not lying. He's just wrong because he doesn't know.
Listen, it's pretty good, Michael. But listen, I like to think that maybe I'm the third most knowledgeable person on this panel about Pennsylvania today between you and Carville and me. So, but I would just say this, Michael. I think that it's going to be tight. Look, the electorate in Pennsylvania is split.
This dude looks like those thumb guys from Doctor Who. Not the Mandalorians. No, they're like a big deal. Oh, well, you know what? I don't care anymore. He looks like one of those.
A little bit different than when James ran the Wofford.
I mean, kind of the same. Kind of. Oh.
No, but I would just say this, Michael. I think that it's going to be tight. Look, the electorate in Pennsylvania is split. It's a little bit different than when James ran the Wofford campaign back in the day there. And it's changed a lot, right? The Democrats are now Republicans. Republicans are now Democrats in Pennsylvania. It's a crazy place. And I don't think, when I'm out and about in Pennsylvania, I hear from people that, they're just not ready to commit to Kamala Harris. They haven't seen her enough, heard from her enough. Trump's out there every day, like on the hustings, and Kamala Harris just hasn't made the pitch yet, hasn't asked for the vote out there. And if she does lose, I think it's because she's kept a bubble wrap on a shelf someplace. They're playing defense, not offense. They're playing like they're 14 points up, not like they're neck and neck. And so I think it's going to be close just because of the nature of the electorate.
Okay, James, is she playing it too safe?
Well, first of all, I agree with Mr. Urban. People don't know enough about her. They know who she is. They know who Donald Trump is. They know what Donald Trump is. They still want to find out what Harris is. Now, this playing it safe, I just heard all of this whining about long-form interviews and, having a specific plan. She's got an 81-page economic plan, okay? She's agreed to do 60 Minutes, which is the ultimate long-form interview show. Of course, Donald Trump weasels out of the next debate, weasels out of 60 Minutes. But we don't think she's specific enough. There's not enough meat on those bones. She doesn't sit down for long-term delivery. What garbage? I mean, look at the facts here, please. And David is right. She's got to fill herself out. And I think that...
what I can't understand is the mindset of people who are undecided. That's something that I haven't cracked. I can crack into the brain of the Trump crowd, right? I can crack into the brain of lefties. I can crack into the brain of liberals and Republicans and conservatives. I cannot, for the life of me, crack into the head of people who are undecided. Well, I really always hated Donald Trump, but things are like kind of bad now. I saw on Twitter, how the average person arrives at their political positions will blackpill you to no end. I will tell you that much right now. Okay? It will make you suicidal. It will end your faith in humanity.
Trump doesn't want her to fill out because she clobbered him in a debate in September. And if he dares stick his head up again, she'll kick it off again.
He's legendary.
Yeah, but James, if you were running this campaign, you'd have her in Juniata County, not Juanita County. You'd have her in Juniata County. You'd have her in these places in Pennsylvania where James, where these elections are decided, right? The people, they need to meet her. They need to see her, touch, smell, taste. They need to understand who she is.
Lick Kamala Harris. Taste?
Juniata County, not Juanita County. You'd have her in Juniata County. You'd have her in these places in Pennsylvania where James, where these elections are decided, right? The people, they need to meet her. They need to see her, touch, smell, taste. They need to understand who she is.
I need to lick Kamala Harris to know if I'm going to vote for her. I need to see, touch, hear, feel, taste Kamala Harris.
They know Donald Trump. They don't know who she is, and that's what they need. And you know what you'd be doing differently in Pennsylvania. You've won in Pennsylvania.
Well, I mean, first of all, she does have Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, Colorado.
Speak for yourself, Lurkus.
Too. But look, I think she's going to campaign hard in Pennsylvania. I don't like to predict elections, but I like I said, I think this thing is going to break, and I feel more comfortable that it'll break Harris's way than not. But I'm can be all Mr. Evans, you don't get to be a legend until you're almost 80. You wait, you'll be one day.
Hey, I want to roll something for you that everybody else is mischaracterizing as an attempt by the former First Lady to sell her new book, her new memoir. But David Urban, I see right through it. It's 20 seconds. Let's play it, and then I'm going to make a comment.
Individual freedom is a fundamental principle that I safeguard. Without a doubt, there is no room for compromise when it comes to this essential right that all women possess from birth: individual freedom. What does my body, my choice really mean?
That's not a book commercial. That's a campaign.
One's in chat. If you give a about Melania Trump's opinion on abortion, anyone's, you guys are coping so hard. She's a woman and hot. I'm sorry. The supermodel plastic look does not do it for me. Okay, you guys are crazy.
It's essential right that all women possess from birth: individual freedom. What does my body, my choice really mean?
That's not a book commercial. That's a campaign commercial. That is a very clever. I mean, I give it props, David Urban. That's a way of her appealing right to suburban women outside of Philly.
I wish we'd have ran. I wish that book promotion would have come out about 2-3 months ago.
But am I right? I mean, you're acknowledging it.
It's so
I have no knowledge
funny
of that being.
Wait, what's the joke?
That is a very clever. I mean, I give it props, David Urban. That's a way of her appealing right to suburban women outside of Philly.
I wish we'd have ran. I wish that book promotion would have come out about 2-3 months ago.
But am I right? I mean, you're
nobody laughs because nobody gets the joke. Does anybody get the joke? I don't get the joke.
Listen, I have no knowledge of that being a coordinated campaign commercial or a book promotion, but I would say, like you said, Michael, very slick, very smart, and it says, look, in the Trump household, we have, we view things maybe a little differently than maybe is being talked about on the campaign trail.
A quick final question to James Carville. James, you know that Trump is returning to Butler, Pennsylvania today, scene of that first assassination attempt. He's taking Elon Musk with him. Why?
Oh, is he really? That's so cringe, dude. Bro, I still can't reconcile with the fact that conservatives have been whining and crying and screaming and pissing blood and shitting themselves, crying baby mad about how liberal CEOs of tech companies are putting their thumbs on the scale when there's like no public statements whatsoever. They don't post on their page about how we all need to vote for Kamala Harris. They're not doing any shit like that. They're in like the toughest, like in between a rock and a hard place when it comes to how they moderate their platforms, trying to balance the advertisers and the will of the people and the fist of the government. Like they're just like trying their goddamn best, not always succeeding, but trying their goddamn best. And then Elon Musk comes in, buys out the second or third largest social media company in the world, starts posting blatant propaganda, most of it AI generated, to people, blatantly lying on a daily basis, spreading lies, reinstating literal neo-Nazis back to the platform, refusing to unban for some reason a lot of Dems that got banned. Kind of crazy. It's like everything that they accuse the Democrats and the liberal CEOs of doing, they do. The Twitter files, there was so much hype about them, and they led to nothing. Nothing was learned. Nothing was shown to be bad. You know what's bad? The fact that they cried for so long about the Hunter Biden laptop stuff that the only request to be taken down about any of that stuff was Hunter Biden's cock. Okay? That's the only stuff that was requested to be taken down. The rest of it was allowed to go around less than 24 hours within 24 hours. I don't remember if it was under 24 hours or at 24 hours. Okay. But like it was allowed to spread. Everybody was talking about it. Everybody knew about it. You know what isn't allowed to be on Twitter for some reason? JD Vance's dossier. All of a sudden, conservatives believe in foreign influence into the elections. And I have mixed feelings about that dossier being leaked, okay? I'm not lying when I say I have genuine mixed feelings about that. But the double standard that we're being held to here is so crazy. The cis prefix. If you say cis anything, or if you call someone cis, C-I-S, you will get shadow banned. That comment will be shadow banned for hate speech. At worst, it's cringe. But you know, like there's currently a video floating around on Twitter of Nazis doing the Roman salute and Romans doing the Roman salute, and someone saying, man, this really fires up my Aryan blood. No action against that. Dylan threw down the gauntlet and said he was wrong. Yeah, he said that, and he had to think of something, and he never said anything that I was wrong about. I'm always right. It's just...
Or unwise.
The Elon Musk stuff is just so crazy, and it's mind-boggling to me how people don't see the blatant double standard that they're engaging in. The sudden realization that like Iran might be trying to influence our elections, but like we're still not going to believe that about Russia, even though Russia brags about doing it. I
don't, you know, it's fine if that's what he wants to do. I think y'all have the entirely wrong interpretation of what Mrs. Trump did. I think she can't stand him. And I think it was very intentional. Not only did she put out about how pro-choice she was, she also put out how pro-immigrant it was. But again, the rule of the commentary is...
Can someone get me this like full statement from Melania Trump? I'm so curious. I give zero about anything like about her opinion. I just want to see what was said, because I think that she can't stand Donald Trump. I think that when was the last time that they were photographed together? I can't think of the last time that happened. I can't remember the last time they were shown holding hands or hugging in public. Shortly after the Boebert shit dropped, from my recollection. Wasn't that like 2 years ago?
Yes, every piece of information must be interpreted in the most negative light to the Democrat. I think the interpretation that she's doing this helping politically is entirely wrong. I think she's trying to cause him all of the misery and angst that she possibly can.
Quick response from you, Urban?
No, listen, hey, I would just say again, I'm going to, James predicted that Harris is going to break and take Pennsylvania. I'll predict Trump's going to take Pennsylvania. And then Michael, you, me, and James, the legend, can go have a cheesesteak, or we can go down to Famous Deli and have a breakfast and celebrate the Trump victory after Election Day.
That's great food, Bill.
Nice to see both of you.
All right. Dude, the Loomer stuff, the Loomer stuff, dude, I'm not going to lie. That's a conspiracy theory that I think is true. I think that they were boning. I think that he cheated on his wife with Laura Loomer. I know that some old people are a little bit more like touchy-feely than people that are younger. I do know that that's true, right? But I don't see older men with their arm around someone like that, okay? I don't see older men with their arm around women like that unless they are A, wanting to, or two, are on the side. I mean, like, I know it's a ad for her book, but I'm just like curious, because they're saying that like he's being attacked by his wife through this advertisement. By the way, guys, if you are not following or subscribing on YouTube, if you are not following or subscribing on Twitch, please consider this an invitation to do so now. And if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like button.